All right, so I wanted to ask you, what was the overall audition process, and how you were able to secure Takemichi, and was there any differences in the overall process of dubbing season one versus season two when it was moved from Crunchyroll to Disney Plus /Hulu? Because I heard or I read somewhere that you guys apparently switched recording studios for the second season.
Mhm. Yeah, so I'll answer that. I can do that real quick. So, in terms of the auditioning process for Takemichi, it's actually funny. A little bit of lore is had texted me like a month prior, I think, or a couple months prior. I don't remember the exact timeline. A picture of Takemichi, and he was like, "You'd be perfect for this." And I was like, "Okay." So that was funny. But so I got the audition from my agent. Studiopolis was the dubbing studio at the time. So I got the audition from my agent, and I got that one, and I got. Ooh, what else did I get? I got the world ends. No, not the world ends with you. What's the To Your Eternity? There you go. To Your Eternity. So I did them both at the same time. Um, Honestly, there wasn't a lot of pizzazz involved with me doing Takemichi. I kind of just did the complete opposite of the advice that I gave earlier, and I just went for it. I was just like, oh, I mean, it was something. I mean, reading the lines, it wasn't like I just, was like blah 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 blah, blah and just went through it. I did read the lines, and I kind of saw a through point in the audition. I think it was kind of like a monologue, if I remember correctly. Actually, you know what I think it was? There's an what episode is it? It's episode like 2 or 3. He's sitting with Naoto at like little Naoto at the park, and he just protected him, and he's like telling him, "I'm gonna, this is what's gonna happen in the future." Yeah, blah 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 blah. It was like that whole thing. So I did that, and I actually made Takamichi sound a little bit tougher in that audition than he ends up being in the actual show or is in the manga. I think actually that is probably the toughest he is in the manga or show. So he actually sounded a little bit different, but I just kind of went for it. Like there wasn't anything special that I did to make it stand out or to really approach the character because there wasn't like a whole lot in terms of the audition. Like there wasn't lines and lines to go through or a whole like there wasn't like 3 scenes. Is Mike? Think. Okay, no, he's not. Uh, so yeah, not really much there. In terms of the process didn't really change. It did switch studios because Disney ended up getting the license for it. I ended up recording it instead of Studiopolis at where was it? Not not Side Ayuno. I don't know. Honestly forget. So it was like Side Ayuno. I always get them all confused. But it was not at Studiopolis anymore. But they kept the director. Um, and so everything was pretty much the same, except I think we moved a little quicker. I could be wrong, but I think we moved a little bit quicker with the second season in terms of recording. Maybe not. I think there was just a long gap between the two. I kind of forget the process of both, but it was a little different for me because the first season I recorded mostly in my bedroom in Massachusetts before I had moved to LA. In this, I recorded like in studio. So yeah, pretty much. Honestly, the process was the exact same director, except at Studiopolis, the director did the engineering as well because he just happened to be an engineer, and with Disney, he had an engineer. But for the most part, everything else was the same. So yeah, nothing really crazy or special about it, honestly.
All right, thanks, man. That was great to hear.
All right, yeah, no problem, Glenn. Thank you for asking your question.